Well, hello, General Hospital Daily Recap fans. Today's daily recap is for Friday, October the 25th, 2024. Friday, October the 25th. Yeah, I was disappointed today, everybody. This was a Thursday episode, if you asked me, not Cliffhanger Friday. Um, the paternity test results are in. Robert is the father. We knew it. This now ties Sasha into a family line. Okay. But Holly goes to see Cody, really in an effort to get him to leave town with her to do some kind of poker con on a millionaire. You know, yeah, lady, I don't know you from Adam, and I'm going to leave town with you to pull a con on a millionaire that I don't have his background history, right? Because is it gonna put a target on my back? Does this guy have bodyguards? Is this guy a gangster? I mean, look, she bringing Sidwell to the U.S. So yeah, trust Holly, Cody, trust Holly. But Cody is like, no, he has found a family in Port Charles. He has found a new direction. And there's a woman in his life that he feels she's way too good for him. And he's not going to do anything to jeopardize that. Plus, he found his father. And she's like, but still, like a man of your taste working for the Quartermains and they're in their stable, this can't certainly be satisfying. And he looked at her and he's like, chick, have you seen my stable? Because look, Cody's stable looked like a mock stable. Spiral staircase going up to the rooms. Horses rarely actually in there. you know, that's when he want to bring the horse up or the horses, whichever one he's grooming. Really, that's the grooming quarters for the horses. And the funny thing is, when he walked into the stable, she comes walking down the spiral staircase, and he's like, who are you? And were you in my room? And she says, yes, I was looking for you. Oh, okay. So Holly had the nerve to ask Anna, you just come into people's rooms, right? Illegally, but you're going to walk into a private stable, take your skinny behind up spiral staircase and go through somebody's stuff because that's what she was doing, rifling. And he looked at her and they had a small back and forth. And then he brought up, so you just felt comfortable going up the stairs, right? And she says, into my room. And she goes, oh, I just popped my head in and I saw you weren't there. It's like, chick, you couldn't say, Mr. I don't know, Mr. Yell up the spiral staircase. Hey, Mr. Bell, are you home? But no, let me just go on up. Yeah, Holly. I can't stand Holly's character. Years ago, I never liked it. I never liked Holly's character on General Hospital ever. So, anyway, she keeps going and going and going and really getting nowhere with Cody. She says, your cut would be a million or two. I'm sure you could do something with that. And he says, ooh, a million or two. There was a chance I'd have been all over this because I was always looking for my next con. But no. And then he ended up saying he wouldn't want to disappoint Mac. See, now I like that. Cody and Mac are in a good place, and he wants to keep Mac's respect. I like that. And so he goes, "Do you know Max Scorpio?" She says, "Yes, I know him." Mm. Now, Sasha, after she left Robert from hearing the news, it took her a minute because it slapped her in the face that a parent she felt was dead all her life wasn't. But look, he's not too many years far from the grave, unfortunately. And look, that's not saying that to be mean, but you're only going to know him for a few years. But look, a few years is better than no years, right? So Robert was very gracious about it. He's in his mind, I got another daughter, okay. And probably deep down in his mind, he would love the fact that he has a actual connection to Holly because he loved him some English, right? Well, actually, English was Luke's name. I think Robert just called her Holly. So anyway, Sasha leaves and goes straight to Nina. And she tells Nina what happened. So, Nina and her have a heart to heart. Nina's really good with people she cares about. That's one thing I could say about Nina. And now that they're making Nina's character, for some reason, take a back seat, you notice how they cooled down on Drew and Nina's story? Because, come on, the election is almost about to happen. I guess they're letting the whole Sam and Lulu right now, that situation be front and center. Okay, I see that. So anyway, but Nina was very, very reassuring to Sasha, encouraging to Sasha, letting Sasha know you're worthy, you're worth having a family, and you are a daughter that anyone would be proud of. She says, Sasha, I would have been proud if I actually were your mother, So anyway, that was a nice little heart to heart. Stephen talks to, back on the Robert. Diane comes in. Robert tells Diane about Sasha. And Diane is like, wait, what? It's like, she can't get rid of Holly, but it is what it is. And I like, look, I got a girl pregnant and she bringing a baby here. This Sasha's, Diane, who's Sasha, So anyway, Diane is going to accept it because why not? Robert didn't know, and neither did Sasha. Holly is the one that kept that bombshell a secret, and she'd been in town 3 times and never said nothing. Anyway, Stephen, of course, convinces Heather. He tells Heather he wants to talk to her. And Elizabeth, he and her hug after Heather hogs him up. And he ends up taking her to Bobby's. Elizabeth goes back to work. And Terry is like, okay, so you're back awfully fast. How did it go picking up Heather? And she goes, well, I didn't have to. My brother Stephen showed up. And he took Heather. He wanted to have a conversation with her. So she couldn't wait to order her 2 BLTs. And the way she orders a BLT, the look on her face, I tell you, everybody, it makes me want a BLT. And I have never been a BLT person. Really. Who just wants bacon, lettuce, and tomato? Now, if that's you in comment corner, say, hey, I'm a BLT person. Okay. Better be the thick cut bacon. But anyway, Stephen tells her he's not staying. And he's pretty much like, and neither are you. And she's like, wait, what? No. Port Charles has always been my home. And I'm like, girl, you ain't been in Port Charles in years. And you cause trouble every time you've been here. And so he says, look, both of us are out. Port Charles, he says, look, she goes, you could get a job here. He goes, nope, Port Charles does not have any positive memories for me. I will not be returning here. And she goes, oh, Are you afraid you're going to run into Olivia? I bet he goes, you know what? Wait. I mean, let me set the ground rules right now. You will not speak Olivia's name, and we will not ever discuss Olivia. Do you understand me, mother? Okay, okay, okay. You know? And he goes, look, what you've done to some of the people in this town, you're not going to get a warm welcome at all. She goes, I can handle that. My grandson's here. Oh, and I'm going to get this settlement and I'm going to have a place where he could, a big house. I could buy it for both of us. And then he'll have a great swing in the front set, a front yard, a backyard, and I can watch him grow. And I'm thinking, you thinking Laura's going to hand that baby over to you? And so he goes, look, that's years from now. He's a baby. He says, right now, you don't need to be here because you've hurt families. You don't need to be here. And she says, and something to the effect of, you don't want that kind of hostility poured over onto your grandson. He says, and on top of the fact, I am here and I am offering you the opportunity to spend some time with me in Colorado. You could get a job. They don't know you there. And we can get to know each other. And she looked at him. I've always wanted that. See, the funny thing is she's always wanted to connect with her family. Heather has. She was obsessed with Stephen Lars. Maybe it's because he was taken from, the whole 9 yards. And then when she learned Franco was hers, obsessed with Franco, right? So she goes, you know what? Okay, I do want to spend time with you. So she goes, but I got to do something first. So then we see the scene. He brings her to General Hospital. And Elizabeth says, oh, Stephen, Heather, you're here, right? And so she goes, yes, I had to come to tell you this face to face. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. You are so great. You offered to let me stay with you. And Elizabeth's like, because she's like regretting that. But she goes, but I can't. Stephen Lars wants to take me back with him to Colorado. And Elizabeth puts her hand up in front of her face because she was like, It was funny. And she goes, and then she looks at Stephen like, really? And he's looking at her like, right? So she says, well, Stephen Lars, no, Elizabeth says, well, Stephen, come here. We haven't even had a chance. So she hugs her brother and he hugs her, because she's thinking, okay, I know why you're doing, but she hasn't put the Portia aspect, that two and two together. She hasn't, right? Because Portia said Curtis is going to take care of this and blah, blah, blah. So Laura comes off the elevator and Heather's like, Laura! She runs over to Laura and Laura looks like, wait, what? See, I don't know that Laura knew Heather was getting out. And oh, Heather's just so overjoyed to see her Laura. Now, Monday, we're going to see Laura's true reaction because the next thing out of Heather's mouth is going to be, can I see my grandson? And Laura needs to be at the hospital for, just standing vigil, praying and supporting Lulu. Do the surgery. Allergies are acting up, y'all. Allergies. Ugh. So, we'll see. But Heather's going to ask to see Ace. Now, whether Laura says, okay, for a quick visit, I'll take you there now, but we can't stay long. We'll see what Laura says. But I think Laura's going to tell her, no, not right now. And Heather's going to say, but I'm leaving town. We'll see. We shall see how that goes. Or Heather going to tell Stephen, well, we got to postpone leaving until I get to see my grandchild. So before Heather and Stephen got to the hospital, Laura was talking to Anna, saying that Charlotte needs to be here. It's not fair. It was very selfish of Valentine to take Charlotte, and now Charlotte needs to spend time with her mother. Thinking Lulu's been in the same coma she's been in all Charlotte for almost 5 years now. That's all Charlotte's known for the last 5 years. Okay, this health crisis that's supposed to make it so that she doesn't die still is not supposed to wake her up from a coma. So why is it so necessary Charlotte be there? That's Laura. And I'm sorry, everybody. Laura's intuitions and feelings on things as of late have been horrible. Charlotte is a very troubled teen and did not do well in Port Charles. Charlotte needs to be with her father, right? She does. Valentine's going to keep her safe. So there you go, Laura. You are no stranger to taking a child away from their family on the run. You and Luke had little Lucky on the run the majority of his young life, and you felt that was okay. Valentine's on the run with his daughter. That's okay, Laura. Just I don't really, Laura, I have no stock in what Laura has to say. So now Anna's back on the I will find Charlotte and I will bring her home. I will find Charlotte. Okay, well, guess what? Brennan is not going to help you find Charlotte. So, because Brennan knows you let Valentine go. So here you go. And that was pretty much it. Sam is in surgery. Alexis and Diane were having a working lunch, and Alexis told Diane about Heather. And she goes, wait a minute. The person that almost killed me is out or getting out. And Alexis says, yeah, today. And Diane is like, oh my God. So anyway, we'll see. The Diane, whatever. She goes, she's supposed to be cured. But Alexis is worried, and she's talking to Diane about Molly and Christina, how they couldn't even put aside their differences enough. And she told them about when Sam came to tell them about the donation, how they acted out. And so Sam didn't want them there, which I understand that before her surgery. Because you don't know what powder cake, what they're gonna say or do. And Sam didn't need that before her surgery. But then Alexis was on the phone with Christina and said, okay, your sister's still in surgery, but you are going to be there when she gets out, right? And Christina must have said something like, are you sure Sam wants me there? And she goes, when your sister gets out of surgery, oh, you need to be there. In other words, that's the thing to do, chick. You show up and you put it in your head. See, Christina still, yeah, but she was mad at me last time. Look, you show up and you hug your sister and you let her know you're glad she made it out of the surgery well. You don't have to stay, but you show up. So Alexis pretty much, no, you're going to be there. And that's it, everybody. Let me think. Oh, as Holly is still trying to talk to Cody, talk him into leaving, Sasha finally shows up. And she's like, you get away from him and you leave right now. And Holly looks, oh. And Cody's like, do you guys know each other? And so Holly turns back to him. Oh, and Mr. Bell, she goes, don't say one word to him. Leave. And Holly's like, oh, okay. Yeah. You know she's up to something. You know it. And see, my whole thing was, remember I said when she was looking at him in that Crimson magazine, to me, she was interested in Cody. And when she brought up, oh, she did tell him about the Ice Princess. Now, she didn't out and out say she stole those diamonds, but she alluded to the fact that they weren't destroyed and they're worth a lot of money. Now, we know Holly. She did steal those diamonds. She got away clean with them. She got money for those diamonds, but obviously not enough, right? That should have set her, but she's out trying to steal Sidwell's now. Holly is a hot mess, a hot Holly mess. So once she left, Cody said, you were rather harsh to that woman. Do you know her? And she said, that woman is my mother. And Cody just looked at her like, wait, what? Not still knowing that there's a connection between Sasha and him, but the fact that Sasha said her mother was dead. I mean, that's like, wait, what? Mother? So anyway, we'll hear her talk to Cody and all of that good stuff. So that was it, everybody. No cliffhanger Friday. It didn't bring up any emotions within me at all. Let's see. Let's go to Comic Corner. Comic Corner. Today on Comic Corner, I am going from the bottom up. From the bottom up. And let me do my trusty, dusty stop watch. And here we go. 10 minutes of this. We have Jackie. Jackie says, these are not her final scenes. There's going to be a final twist. Oh, I'm starting to read stuff like that. May says, no, there isn't. Kelly is leaving GH soon. Kelly already taped her final scenes on September 27th, confirmed by Kelly and her mom. All these spoilers to saying she's staying are fake bait. And then Jackie says to May, not so much staying, but her death scenes have not happened. Which, okay, I'm happy. I did not want her death to be under the knife of her brother. So that makes sense that she does survive the surgery. Because also, November sweeps have happened or starting. They're going to want that climax to really get good ratings for November sweeps, which is actually, we got all next week to go and then November. So, but I think it starts end of October. I didn't look it up, but I don't care when it really starts, but we know it starts in November. So now we have Arthur says Heather Weber is there in Port Charles. Denzel says, I was glad that Steve came back to PC. I liked how Curtis was in his CEO Bosch-ish, telling Steve that his mother Heather and leave Port Charles, but knowing that Steve didn't want nothing to do with his crazy mother Heather, and that Heather might not even go anywhere now that she is released from Pentonville, thanks to Rick. But other than that, my boy Curtis needs to find another plan B of how to get Heather to leave Port Charles. My theory is Curtis to ask Sonny to help him wait for his help. That's all I got to say. I don't think he would go to Sonny because Sonny really, there's nothing in it for Sonny to get Heather, except for Heather almost killed John. I don't know. But for right now, it looks like Heather said yes, but Heather always changes her mind like that. So that yes could be a real no, honestly. And then Denzel says, when Rick gave that good news to Crazy Heather that she had been released from Pentonville, and then giving him a kiss on the lips, I was like, nah, straight nasty. And when Slick Rick asked Heather, where would she live? With then responding back, she could live with neither Laura nor Alexis, knowing that Alexis wouldn't allow all that because the family issues, and Laura Probably not, because she wanted Heather out of prison. Uh, she wanted Heather out of prison in the first place, shaking my head. Then, before Heather was getting ready to leave Pentonville, she called Elizabeth to ask her to pick her up and stay with her because of her son, Franco. Like, nah, don't use your son's grief for an excuse. And if I'm Elizabeth, I'd never let Heather come and stay at my crib while my last child, Aiden, is still living with me. Nah, hello, no. I know. I'm surprised Elizabeth would, but I think Elizabeth just knew about picking Heather up. I don't think Heather had asked her to stay with her. But one thing, Heather liked Elizabeth. Heather hurts people she don't like. She liked Elizabeth. She would never hurt Elizabeth. I would never let her stay with me and my son. But Rick had the nerve to tell Elizabeth, he's the one that said, or maybe she did ask Elizabeth, because Rick says, look, I got a perfect solution. I'll move into the house with her. Look, she's got Jake's room is empty. So is Cameron's room. It's empty. So Rick could take one, Heather could take another. And Liz looked at him and says, you are not moving into my house. That was funny. And then Alicia says the Sidwell situation seems slightly different from Pikeman, where Val um, insulated, they won't take no for an answer from when Sonny resisted. I didn't watch one scene from General Hospital, and that was Sonny and Holly. It appears that if he's volunteering for this one, or yeah, but he still said yes to Valentine and insinuated that they wouldn't. Well, said Valentine insinuated that they wouldn't take no for an answer. Yeah, no, but it wasn't that much. They showed Sonny how much cash, and Sonny for some reason wanted the money. Or I think he was intrigued with this whole Pikeman and he was trying to figure out what their angle was. I don't know why Sonny got involved with that. I really honestly don't. And then Lisa says, I hope Sonny takes the money and gives it to Sasha and she gets the land for Cody. The truth needs to come out that Holly is lying to Robert and Sasha. Well, for right now, Holly ain't lying unless Brennan changed those test results because he's got some kind of deal going on with Holly. And then Jagar says, I'll tell you what's going on to be very hard for Alexis when she's is here for Sam. Go on potentially, I'll be devastating. It'll be devastating for her children. And Molly and Christina are going to have severe regrets. But the last conversation they had with her and an argument tone, like a couple of immature brats. Yes, indeed. Alicia says, I'm here for the international incidents, guns blazing. Might start watching again. Yeah, there's going to be some big action with Sidwell. I'm kind of liking that too. It's going to give Sonny a run for his money. P. Merrill says, I can't believe neither Molly or Christina could get out of their heads long enough to come and see Sam. Selfish and despicable. I hope their grief keeps them up many, many nights to come. And then DL says, mark my words, Christina and Molly are going to on a very dark road after Sam's death. Yeah, I see that too. And then Lucy says, news flash, Curtis Ashford tells Steven Weber he will get his medical license back for him if he takes his mother, Heather, and leaves town. As if it's not a done deed, Curtis, that Drew's going to get in Congress. And I didn't know Drew could have the authority to get Steven's license back. Jagar says, I think in regards to Laura and Heather, it's going back further than Ace. You know what I think? It's about Heather's mother who worked for Rick and Leslie. when Laura was a teenager as their housekeeper. Laura knew Heather from that time. Oh, okay. See, for some reason I don't remember none of that. Kalima says she had an affair with Jeff Weber. I think later married him. Jeff was the brother of Laura's stepfather. Oh. And then Sly says, yes, Heather and Jeff were married. They were Stephen's parents. So Heather was Laura's aunt in the 90s. Oh, I mean, 70s, in the 70s. Oh, okay. Um, and then Alicia says, didn't Heather try to kill Franco? And then Chrissy says, yes, she did. When he was dating Carly, she tried to kill them both. But that was that hip. That was that cobalt hip, everybody. Let's not forget that. She's got it way out of that. Uh J Girl says it was so sad everyone coming to say goodbye to Sam. Kelly was so sad. When Heather started her crime spree, Rick needs to be her first victim. Uh-oh. DB says she real life didn't want to go. She real life didn't want to go or didn't want to leave town. And then Lucy says, where's Scott Baldwin? And Alicia says, Heather can't live with me, even if she were my mom. No way. I know. And then Alicia says, drink a glass of wine tomorrow. Well, guess what? Didn't happen. I didn't need it. All right, everybody, that's 10 minutes, because Friday was, ugh. I'll be back on Monday. So hopefully they really start ramping in next week on General Hospital for some really good stuff, which I think they're going to because of November sweeps. I'll be back tomorrow, Monday.